Yo, I can't even lie. This may be the best quick trip slushy I've ever made. Cola and white cherry ice. Yo. Okay, so today's vlog, I wanted to really, well, first off, I kind of want to apologize to you guys because I kind of introduced the concept to you, but didn't really introduce it to you. Um, so last Sunday, no, not last Sunday's, last Friday's vlog, I introduced it as Quantum University 101, right? So I was going to introduce the whole concept to you guys, but I didn't really tell you anything about it. I just started drawing for the most part. So I needed to backtrack things a little bit, and I need to kind of explain to you the concept of Quantum University. And that's what this vlog is all about, the concept. What's going to happen? What is this world about? Who are the characters? You don't even know who the characters are, for God's sake. So I just kind of jumped us off in the middle of the pool full of sharks and didn't tell you that the sharks were in there. So for that, I do apologize, guys. Let me know, and just hit me up in the comments whenever I make some little dumb mistakes like that. Hit me up in the comments and tell me and be like, hey, Dave, you ain't tell us nothing. Cool video, nice vlog. You ain't tell us nothing. So what I'm going to do today is that we're going to go through the basic story. We're going to break down Quantum University. And I think you guys are going to like the concept. So Quantum University is the story of Carver University. It's a small HBCU. And if you don't know what an HBCU is, it's a historical black colleges and universities. So Carver is a small HBCU located in southern Missouri. It's over 100 years old, and for the most part, it was mainly about agriculture. It was, agricultural, agrarian type of college. The thing with Carver is that Carver always had kind of this bad reputation as being the haunted university or the haunted college, because there was always this strange, unexplained phenomenon happening on campus. Nobody could figure it out. Well, that is until our hero, a young student by the name of Robert Legend, arrives on campus. Now, Robert, certified genius, one of the smartest people on the planet. Unfortunately, Robert has just been kicked out of his prestigious Ivy League school that he was going to for 2 years. And worse than that, he's strapped for cash. So, kicked out, your reputation's kind of ruined, and you don't have any money, you end up in a small HBCU in southern Missouri. That's just how life works. But it's interesting for him because he arrives on campus and is presented with this mystery. Hey, the campus haunted. There's all this weird stuff happening. What are we going to do? So Robert decides that he's going to set out to figure out what is really going on this campus, because he doesn't believe in ghosts. So our hero Robert, he does a bunch of tests, and basically he decides that he's going to need a particle accelerator to figure this out, because he's done a bunch of tests and he's done a bunch of wave energy tests, things of that nature. He's noticed that there's something different about the atmosphere around Carver. So he decides that he needs a particle accelerator. Unfortunately, you're at a poor HBCU in the middle of southern Missouri, and you don't have any money. So how do you do that? Guess what? You hit a junkyard on some Fat Albert type stuff, and you build one from scratch. So using his handmade particle accelerator, which is active genes in itself because it's actually compact. And if you know anything about particle accelerators, those things are crazy huge. So, using his handheld particle accelerator, he discovers that running through Carver is one of the most amazing phenomena in all of mankind. A quantum fault line. So, what's a quantum fault line? A quantum fault line is the natural seam between our reality and the void. The void is the cosmic river that leads to that interconnects all the alternate versions of Earth, all the alternate universes. So there's an alternate universe where, you know, somebody where you may be a good person in this universe, in our reality, but in that reality, you're a stone cold killer. Or there's a reality where, you know, Tupac could be the president of the United States. You never know. Things like this happen all over, you know, different realities, different timelines, all kinds of stuff. There's realities in which mankind never evolved and the dinosaur remained and evolved. So this is a major discovery, and this actually reinvigorates the school. It kind of changes everything about the school. And Robert's at the forefront of exploration and discovery and all these great things. So let's fast forward to present day. Robert is now a professor. He's still working at Carver, still exploring, still learning, still gathering information. And being a scientist, of course, he loves it. This is a scientific dream. He gets to test out theory. He's debating with the greatest minds ever. And he creates a program for some of the smartest urban minds in the world to come together to study the fault line. This program is called the Pioneer Program. So this year, he's going to be leading a class of 4 exceptional students. And let's talk about those 4 exceptional students. So one of the first students accepted is a young lady by the name of Ebony. She's a very socially conscious young lady. She's protested. She fights for civil rights. She's also a very extremely brilliant mind, and she probably is either going to end up an astrophysicist or something like that. Very smart young lady. Ebony's very strong-willed. She's not going to take any junk from nobody, and she definitely has her own opinions and a very independent streak that can sometimes get her in trouble. Now, Jamal is from the city of Compton, and he has a very checkered past because he gets into trouble. He fights. You know, he's from that type of a hood. The thing about Jamal is that Jamal is also very brilliant young man, and his intelligence may be on par with Robert Legend's, but because he has a lot of issues with attitude and anger, sometimes that gets in the way of him being the best that he can be. The cool thing about Jamal is that he's very inquisitive. He loves to learn, and his love of learning almost always overrides any of his other instincts. So he could be 38 hot, but if he sees something that piques his interest, he will forget what he's upset about, and he's going to go study and figure out whatever this phenomenon could be. So Jamal's going to be an interesting person and a very good leader for this group of kids. So Alexis, better known BKA Lex, she's the youngest of the group. She's 16 years old, and basically nobody knows just how smart this child is. That's how smart she is. They can't chart her intelligence. That's how smart she is. But she's very, very immature because she's 16 years old, and she's in college trying to fit in, but it's hard for her. So Lex tends to sport crazy hair colors, and she tends to do things that will get her. She does a lot of stuff to get her noticed, and sometimes that can veer off into some very not good places. So she makes some life choices that aren't very good, but it's all because she's young, she's super intelligent, she's super smart, unchartably smart, but also she's kind of a fish out of water. So she's got to do things. She feels she has to do things to call attention to herself, and a lot of times her and Ebony clash because the things that she's doing can send a very bad message sometimes, or just send the wrong message and sometimes attracts people that Lex is not really capable of hanging with or being around. So that need for attention is going to get her into trouble in situations, but at the same time, her mind, her superior intelligence can actually get her out of situations and also get her into trouble, because again, she's smart to another level, and we don't even know what that level is. Then we got Roberto. Roberto is very down to earth, quiet dude. He's DJ, creative, and his genius lies in his ability to. He's a super engineering savant. That's the best way I can put it. He is brilliant. He's an inventor. The things that he creates, the things that he comes up with, because he does understand. On one hand, he's super intuitive with the highest level of computers. On the other hand, he's also got this maker ability, so he can fashion things together. He has these competing thought processes that he can meld together and create virtuoso works of art that also are functional and are incredible. So him being on the campus of Carver is the best thing that happened for him. What you're gonna find out is that, again, Roberto's very down to earth, and he's got an appreciation for the arts, music. He's a DJ, and he's going to become I believe, the heart or the moral center of this group. Finally, we have Jordan. Jordan is she's been working with Professor Legend for the longest. She's his teaching assistant, and is looking to move up further in the university. And she is also an extremely brilliant woman. She also is a very ambitious, and sometimes brilliance and ambition are not always a good mix. So Jordan's story, as we go further in the series, is going to take some surprising turns. I'm not going to hint as to what. And I think that she's going to become a person that some people are going to gravitate to, and some people are going to feel a certain way about. Well, that's the hope anyway. So if I'm doing that, then I'm doing my job right. If you guys don't feel anything towards her, then I messed up, and it's on me. So just kind of bringing it all back, Quantum University is this story of this group of teachers, students that travel to alternate dimensions. They discover new civilizations. They discover new technologies, new ideas. They also make some enemies along the way. Oftentimes they end up saving this planet from itself. And they learn a lot about themselves, a lot about society, about how to deal with things that they may not have learned in just normal educational settings. So Quantum University is going to be an interesting adventure series, high sci-fi, I guess you would call it, that I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy. And again, I guess if I was giving my elevator speech, it's like a different world meets Doctor Who. That's pretty much the ins and outs of it, except we're not doing time travel. So I hope you guys are ready to go on this journey, and if you are, we're about to get started, baby. We're about to put this together. Yeah, I went through my backyard.